At the outset, let me compliment the Department of Commerce for organizing this unique and far-sighted event in collaboration with the Confederation of Indian Industry and the Services Export Promotion Council. It is heartening to note that delegates from all service sectors and 12 foreign countries are participating in this event. To my mind, this is an important platform for the Indian services industry, especially in view of the growing relevance and importance of the services sector. Ladies and gentlemen, the services sector today has emerged as an agent of change for the country. This sector drives the Indian economy in an inclusive and equitable manner. It is the sector of the current millennium in terms of generating employment, skill development, bringing in FDI, enhancing trade and boosting strategic partnerships. India has the one of fastest growing service sector in the world with annual growth rate of above 9% since 2001. The contributions of service sector of India to overall GDP has increased sharply from 41% in 1990-91 to 60% in 2014-15. The dynamism exhibited by India's service sector is largely a reflection of the liberalization and reform process carried out in this sector since the 1990s. There exists a positive correlation between the extent of liberalization and growth in different service subsectors in India. The services that have been liberalized the most in terms of trade and FDI policies have experienced higher growth rates and employment creation opportunities. The share of India's services exports as percentage of the global services exports at about 3.2% is nearly double that of its share of merchandise exports in global merchandise exports. India is currently the 8th largest exporter of services in the world. In 2014-15, India's services exports stood at US $158 billion as against services imports of US $81 billion. India's services trade surplus cover about 53% of the deficit in merchandise trade. Ladies and gentlemen, the services sector encapsulates many areas such as IT, telecommunication, finance, logistics, professional services, entertainment, education, tourism and hospitality, retail and healthcare. In fact, it includes all sectors which contribute to the well-being of a citizen. We enjoy natural advantages when it comes to services sector due to our beneficial demographic profit. For India, thus, services sector will remain the key driver of economic growth. Services are increasingly imbibed in manufacturing and infrastructure. Economies round the globe depend greatly on their attainments in sectors such as IT, creativity and innovation, design, R&D, and professional services. India's famed IT industry has demonstrated the capabilities and potential inherent in the Indian services sector. The IT sector has positioned India globally as a major services hub, becoming a major exporter of IT, BPO, and software services. With our 4,300 technology startups in the country, India has emerged as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. The IT sector has become a true success story for the Indian services sector. We need to replicate this success across multiple sectors. Service sector of India has been one of the biggest sources of employment generation. The share of employment in service sector in 2011-12 was 28.5%, which was 4% higher than that in the industry sector. The exponential growth of service sector have opened tremendous job opportunities in the software development, information technology, BPO services, financial institutions, telecommunications, internet service, aviation industry, tourism and hospitality industry. In the years to come, the service sector will be one of the largest generator of employment opportunities in India. Tourism and hospitality sectors of India have a lot to offer to the world and could become a potential game changer for service sector. To promote tourism and hospitality industry, a safe and secure environment for the domestic and foreign tourists has to be ensured. The theme of Atithi Devo Bhava has to be applied in letter and spirit to bring about attitudinal change. The Swachh Bharat initiative of the government resonates well with our aspirations to make India a neat and clean destination for tourists. India is fast emerging as a premier destination for medical tourism. The parameters that work to India's advantage include its low-cost, world-class medical, diagnostic, and wellness services and infrastructure. To realize their full potential, the tourism and hospitality industries need consistent support of policy initiatives and development of requisite infrastructure. It is true of other service industries as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the service sector of India has the potential to lay the path of India to migrate from a developing to a developed economy. It is therefore important to design and implement a services-driven development. Process of liberalization is started in 1990s in the service sector has to be strongly pursued with major policy initiatives and subsector focused approach. The results of service sector post initial era of liberalization warrant that the process of reforms and liberalization has to be further intensified to fully utilize its full potential. काफ़ी अच्छा कंटेंट है अनसीन के पर्पज से, 80 की स्पीड के पर्पज से, जो कंटेंट एक लेवल का कंटेंट है, आप इसको अनसीन का कंटेंट है और इसका नंबर जो है 7 नंबर है, 840 वर्ड है, 80 की स्पीड है। और अगर आप में इनमें से कोई भी अच्छा नहीं लिख पाए हो तो आप उधर बैठेंगे, आप जो लिख के लाए हो डिक्टेशन, सीन की डिक्टेशन होगी, स्पीकर रूम में बैठेंगे, उधर बैठेंगे, ठीक है। और जो कोई अच्छा लिखे वो टाइप करेगा जाकर।